Yeah, so what should we talk about this episode? What should be the theme of this episode?
I want to talk about how evolution is bullshit.
No, I already know that, dude.
Nah.
I already know that, dude. I'm Catholic.
We'll talk later.
we certainly can talk. As I say that as somebody who has probably, almost certainly read more books about evolution than probably the three of you combined.
Yeah.
Which is why you've been overloaded with knowledge and you don't know what to actually believe. So
I think I know precisely what to believe.
yeah, no,
I think we talked about this a bit before.
False information. You just consumed so much misinformation.
Wait. Let me check. Do you believe in evolution?
It's plausible.
But do you believe, like...
It makes a lot of sense. Because, like, why the fuck else would, like, turtles have shells, and why would, like, chameleons change
Okay, I
colors?
believe in that. I believe in adaptation, evolution.
Which is, yeah.
Isn't that what evolution is?
Yeah.
Or do you mean
Evolution
a
is
new
the idea
species
that
to
a species can become a different species, which there's no evidence of.
Such a claim. There's no evidence of that. No.
There truly is not.
He's read books, dude.
Find a biologist who has evidence of a species becoming another species. Like, that is the Achilles heel of it.
Find evidence of God.
I guess you're right.
Find evidence of God.
Those scientists
Reality
would be
exists.
alive for that.
Evolution.
evidence.
That's evolution.
No, it's not.
See, your reality exists is such a cop-out.
I mean, think how tiny
Just
people
like,
were.
want to know how I know God's real? Because we're here right now, dude.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, man. No.
That's actually a pretty solid argument.
Want to know how...
To me, well, first of all, I mean, you're asking me to just like, prove God. I think it's
prove evolution.
You can't prove evolution.
You can't prove God either.
I didn't claim to prove God, but they're the alleged proof of evolution, as far as I'm concerned, is extremely unscientific and.
But there's at
highly
least
flawed.
There's at least stuff there to like.
I don't think there is actually. I mean, I know what the claims
What
are.
are those books you read? Yeah, there's claims. There's claims. There's like.
I'm very
theories.
familiar with the claims.
Because you were pro-evolution for a long time,
I was extremely pro-evolution. It was like one of the most interesting things to me, and I read as many books as I could about it because I thought it was fascinating. And I've always been interested in life because we are life. So, like, what is life?
My life's boring.
Man, maybe you need a little more God in your life.
Yeah.
Hey, spice it up a little bit.
He doesn't ever text back.
What?
God doesn't ever text back.
Yeah, well, you're texting the wrong God.
Who are you texting? Vishnu?
Yeah.
Shout out Vic.
Maybe you were texting, I don't know. Whatever. What was I saying?
Something about evolution.
We're all living things. So it's
Yeah.
like, what is this thing that I am? You know, I think that's a very interesting question. And evolution, I thought that was what was the answer for a very long time. And the stated proofs of evolution, as far as I'm concerned, don't really stack up.
Wow. That was so boring. Oh my God.
That's fair.
All right, that's going to be the title of this episode. Evolution's bullshit.
Okay.
Evolution fucking sucks. That's the theme of this episode.
I hear that, but like, what about a bird? I don't have a good example right now, but like, explain like a Komodo dragon.
Yeah, explain Komodo dragons.
Why would that species exist off the bat? Like, what was the purpose of making a lizard that big?
Because God was like,
What
"Yeah,
was
it'd be
the
fucking
purpose
cool."
of making a lizard that big?
Do you think the lizard adapted to that size to become a Komodo dragon, or do you think the Komodo dragon was just spawned? Like, how are there different species if there is no evolution?
He just loves Komodo
Is it just
dragon.
based off the birth of the earth?
How are there different species if there is no evolution? Well, evolution does not demonstrate the speciation of animal. Like, evolution doesn't actually explain it. It claims to. It explains it in theory, but there's no tangible proof that is the process. I don't know
it took
what.
too long. Like,
Yeah, they
it
always
happens
say
over
that.
such a long period of time.
Well, first of all, there's actually a real problem with that because there's so much diversity in life. There's so many mutations that would have needed to happen that time doesn't actually save you, right? So just like
what is
people,
time?
That's a very good question as well.
That is a good question.
You gotta have that one.
If the diversity of life, the mechanism behind it, according to Darwinian evolution, is random mutations, right?
Sure.
So
Well, Darwin was a nerd. So what about the other guys?
yeah, so are all the other people.
Yeah, what about the cool ones?
No, they're
You
cool.
seem to be, no, they're a bunch of fucking dorks. Not me though.
Dude, jujitsu.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about
jujitsu made me-
theology on a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole idea that like the tiny microorganisms that were like that were nothing, and then over the span of millions of years turn into like fish that turn into lizards, that turn into monkeys, that turn into humans.
Right.
That whole process just sounds less believable to me than like God creating man and animals and earth. Because where did the microorganisms come from to begin with?
To me, that's the biggest flaw in evolution is the idea is that Earth was this giant rock with water on it, and there was no life whatsoever, and microorganisms formed by accident, just through chance mixing of chemicals and water. And that, to me, is the biggest flaw. Why is that funny?
Just like what chemicals make a microorganism? We need.
Well, that's literally what I learned in my microbiology class.
Okay.
Right? They were like, well, there was a primordial soup, and these little things came together and formed the first simple microbes, and then evolution picks up after that. But that process is, well, first of all, there's absolutely 0.0 science to demonstrate that is even possible. And mathematically, it is quite literally impossible.
Kind of the #1 Measure Check Comedy Podcast. No big deal.